So late last night for me, the Delta Force devs released a patch, and I noticed it because when I joined a game of King of the Hill, I was like, why are there so many tickets now? Is this a bug? But it was not. They had just not released the patch notes yet. And in today's video, I want to go over the patch notes. They're not very long, but I want to talk about a specific change that they made in King of the Hill, increasing the ticket count and all that. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the patch notes. There'll be a link in the description down below if you want to go and read them for yourselves. I won't go through the entirety of them. I'll try to go through them pretty quickly. So we're going to skip all this beginning stuff because most of it is just like skins. So we can see here a crate, Lux Favor, whatever that is, cards, Weapon XP cards, tokens, tickets, and stuff like that, Moundell bricks. Then we move down here, Lucky Draw, and then we get to the nitty gritty of it right here. So bug fixes and optimizations. So on all platforms, they fixed an issue preventing the KC-17 from being listed on the auction house. So unfortunately, as most of you may know, we don't have the KC-17 in Warfare. It's not available to unlock via mission, which sucks. They improved the descriptions for errors or removals related to collection appearance trading, description for some Arc Knight collabs, fixed a bug where Sonic Trap would cause assault helicopters to remain in an infinite low-altitude stealth state, which is pretty annoying because that prevents you from actually being able to lock onto them. Fixed an issue where yellow notification dots in the collection room would not disappear, not too crazy. A malfunction with operator-specific control schemes. For the mobile, they fixed game crashes experienced by some players using the Vivo S7 devices, and they also mentioned somewhere that all devices will be able to support 120 FPS for the mobile version of Delta Force, so that's pretty nice. Balance adjustments for Warfare, Cyclone, Attack, and Defend mode, so they adjusted a few areas. Now, I don't personally play Attack and Defend, but they basically adjusted the B, D1, and E1 sector. They removed the Defender's FSV wheeled tank destroyer from Sector C, and they adjusted the deployment position of the attacker's UCB-95 assault boat at Sector A, so when you start. The next one is Victory Unite mode on Cyclone. Unfortunately, I can't play Victory Unite, and I think most people are in the same boat. There's just nobody playing that game mode, so you just can't queue in. So I will honestly just skip most of this. And they adjusted a few things with troop forces required for Point B assault vehicle resupply at 140. And then they adjusted the penalty for leaving mid-match in Victory Unite from -500 to -1000 because there is a leaderboard, albeit I don't know how useful that leaderboard is considering most people can't even play the game mode. Getting into the point that I want to talk about the most here is the King of the Hill. So they increased the total score required for victory, which is now 2,400 tickets or points, and they increased objective capture scoring and instant capture scoring for a more balanced in-match experience. And I'll get back to this. I'm just going to cover the rest of this. So on PC, the FSV wheeled tank destroyer obtained through vehicle resupply, the redeployment time was adjusted to 120 seconds, and the assault boat also was adjusted to 120 seconds. So as I was saying, they increased the total amount of tickets required to win a match of King of the Hill to 2,400 tickets. So multiplying the amount that we had before from 1,000 to 2,400 is now 2.4x more tickets that you need to win a match. Now, I would imagine they implemented this, or they made this change to really reduce how much time it takes for a team to get absolutely curb stomped. Now, I had made a video, I think last week or the week before, talking about the fact that matches felt very unbalanced, and it was either one team is just absolutely destroying the other one and they win with the other team having less than 200 tickets. But what I noticed with this adjustment increasing the ticket count, so when people cap flags, you get an instant capture score, and that score is now 100 points per flag capture. Previously was 25, so they 4x'd how many points you get to capture a flag now for the instant capture bonus, but they only 2.4x the total amount of tickets needed to be able to win a match. The more flags a team has, the more tickets they get periodically, so that objective capture scoring that just goes on throughout the match. Now, the more flags you have, the higher that capture score is. So I was playing a match of Cyclone earlier, and we had nearly all the flags except for G, and our ticket score was going up by +5 every time that thing ticked, as opposed to before I think it was capped at 2. I can't recall 100%. The scoring system was always a little bit ambiguous to me in Delta Force. And yeah, the King of the Hill matches now are incredibly short. They last on average 10 minutes or less. I played a match earlier that lasted a whole 6 minutes, and then the next one after that was like 11 minutes. But the matches just feel way too short because that instant capture scoring is, in my opinion, far too high compared to what it is before, because they 4x'd that instant capture scoring, but they only 2.4x'd how many tickets are required to win. So I think they went a little bit too hard with those boosts in tickets, because the matches are just like so boring now. You'll never see somebody that has like 30, 40, 50 kills. The person with the most kills will have on average like, I don't know, 10, 15 kills. The matches just feel far too quick, and for arguably how long it takes to load into a game, having a match only last 10 minutes or less feels kind of bad. So that's the thing that I want to talk about the most in today's video is, yeah, that adjustment to the score required for a victory in King of the Hill feels really, really bad. Again, they probably based this off of some feedback that the matches felt really unbalanced in Delta Force since the new update. As I said in a previous video, as I said today, most often than not, a team would get to 1,000 tickets, the other team would be at 200 tickets or less, and that felt pretty shitty. No matter what team you're on, it didn't result in a very fair and fun match. So doing it this way, if one team has a lot of the flags, I don't know what they're thinking behind this, honestly, but the matches just feel way too fast, and I will be providing my feedback to the devs on this, because playing an 11-minute match on King of the Hill just doesn't feel very rewarding. There's no like moments of tension where both teams are neck and neck and you're on the last few seconds or minutes of the match, and then it's like, who's going to cap the next objective and get that the few points, the 25 instant capture scoring points that will bring them over the edge and allow them to win the match. There's none of this right now. The matches are just going up to 2,400, and I feel like it didn't really fix the base issue of one team getting just curb stomped. It's same experience, albeit it's a little bit less apparent. Every match I played, one team got to 2,400 pretty quickly, and the other one was like at half. So about 50% of the tickets on one side versus 100%. So yeah, the matches might feel a little bit more fair, but they're just way too quick in my opinion. And I really wanted to talk about this and get, you know, a discussion going in the comment section down below about how all of you feel playing King of the Hill. Now I know a lot of people play AD more so than King of the Hill, but for those of you that do play King of the Hill, did you notice that the matches are now going far too quick? Do you think it's better now? I doubt anybody would think it's better having matches less than 10 minutes, but I digress. Let me know that in the comment section down below. The patch notes will be down there as well if you want to go and read them for yourselves. I really went through them super quick this time. But yeah, if you think that the matches are too fast, please give your feedback to the devs so they can readjust it accordingly, so we get matches that are actually fun, last longer, and sometimes come down to the wire. But that'll be it for today's video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.